think when I left here, it was very much a bittersweet day. You know, like knowing what I had here and what I experienced here was now going to be a thing of the past. Now realizing that that's not a thing of the past, I think is really cool. Like being like, I can come back to this, you know, coming home, almost, one would say, right? That's about it. Started when I was 7 years old in Connecticut, 3rd grade. We had a big blizzard and we got like 3 feet of snow, and I was just completely fascinated with not only the storm itself, but watching how it was presented on TV. I was watching the chief meteorologist at the CBS station in Connecticut. His name was Bruce Dupree, who I later went on to intern with. And my 3rd grade teacher would say that I used to stare out the window and watch the icicles grow because it was so cold in Connecticut, you know, and like during the blizzard. And that's just where it all started for me. And then winter weather was always my biggest fascination. But then as I moved south later in life, I really liked severe weather and then hurricanes. Tropical weather is my specialty. I love watching a storm develop and forecasting it as it comes in. Not so much dealing with it once it actually hits us, but forecasting it in the long range is definitely my favorite. So I spent most of my career in the Mid-Atlantic. My first station was in Maryland, in Hagerstown. That's where Maryland gets really tiny. That's where I was. And then I spent time in Richmond, and then here, and then down to Texas. Down in Texas, you don't get cold fronts, right? So we go long stretches where it is just belligerently hot. Okay, so that's a big difference from here. I think that having that experience down in Texas with severe weather, of course still being in a tropical market as well, definitely tailored my professional skills more towards those types of weather events and kind of broadened my palette of what I'm able to forecast accurately and consistently accurately. But up here, you know, it's you get all 4 seasons, which is what I truly missed. Yeah, that sounds so great. It's the weatherman saying that misses the weather here, but that's totally true. I think that it makes your mood different, you know, when you have the different types of weather here. You know, having the fall colors change, having the winter weather come on in, then we get the spring storms and the summer heat, and then eventually maybe a tropical threat. You get everything here, which is my favorite part about forecasting for Hampton Roads. You know, I think the biggest thing is the community. The community here. When I spent my first 5 years here, I really felt connected to the people that we were giving the forecast to on television. You go out anywhere and people are just so kind to you, and you feel like you know them, and they feel like they know you just by watching you on TV. And I think that that's what also makes this community so amazing, is that they know that. They can tell that. And they make that connection with you, that you're not just putting on a show for them at 11 o'clock or at 5 a.m. When they see you in person, they know they're going to get the real you. What's great too is to be with a station that really values weather and invests heavily in weather, giving us all the tools we need to make an accurate forecast for 13 years. A lot of people think we're reading models. We're interpreting a different language. That's what we're doing. And you have to know how that language flows to be able to, give a good interpretation of it. Chief is a title, okay? I think I'm just as much a member of this team as everybody else is. And that's what I want to bring to this team, is let them know I'm on the same level as all of you. Yeah, I'm going to try to lead us in the right direction, but I value everybody's input. We're all steering this ship together, okay? We all do well when everybody does well. When we have a storm and you bring in the team, you get a rounded perspective. My experiences in weather and forecasting may be very different than my colleagues. So getting their perspective and their input definitely gives you a more rounded forecast and different views of what may be happening and how the impacts come to you. Priding yourselves into being most accurate, looking at every bit of data you can to make that forecast the most accurate possible, is paramount in giving a well-tailored forecast to what the viewer wants to hear and how they can plan their day.